it's time to go beyond Plus Ultra and minus Arts, Lou, for more Boku no Hero Academia reviews.
I don't know. We might need to rename this one to Plus Babaka, considering the shit that goes down in the first, half, if that.
I think this scene happened.
Actually, it's like 2/3
Yeah.
before he leaves the area, which I was honestly surprised it was that quickly.
Mm.
I thought this was going to be at least into the next episode. So they
Is
basically just open on like a recap of the plan and then just listing out each area and why it was chosen.
I was surprised that only 5 of the areas were
Listed?
major battles
Mm.
because one has just like the cleanup crew of, hey, just these very minor people we're gonna keep here at the site of teleportation.
I mean,
The
the ones they couldn't separate, yeah.
number 3, which I believe was the stadium, was a bunch of other minor troublemakers that they're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we're going to have all you guys in this area. And number 6, which was the site of Jaku Hospital, I forget that Gato Machia was there.
I don't know if we knew exactly where they had him pinned down at this point.
Mm.
Um, I don't know if they ever gave us an actual name of where he was residing, but it makes sense to a certain degree that they have people there to try to ensure he's not released again.
And everybody's else is at Central just in case Kurigiri is broken out.
Yeah,
I thought the recap went on just a little bit too long because it was basically stuff from 2 episodes ago.
essentially the only new information we really got was like why they assembled each team for each area. That was about it.
Mm. And I
Though
just
the Deku one we kind of figured out from the beginning. The rest were a little less understood.
and I went back and checked on the fandom page whether or not this recap happened in, what was it? It was like 347 or something like that. Nope, it just picks up right from the Dobby fight.
That's one of the things I was wondering from the start, right? Like, why are we having these recaps in here other than maybe to pad time? Because the whole thing where it's like, why not just go in chronological order? Would make more sense. This feels like it's just padding. And just to be
Uh,
like, hey, did you remember from like a week ago when this happened?
so this one covered 40 pages, and let's just bounce back to last week's. Uh, 15 and 17. So I'm not too sure if adapting 7 pages or 7 less pages equates to a nearly like 4-minute recap.
I mean, they've done this what, twice now at least, not including the original time they started showing this.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just padding the runtime and extending out, kind of like what we're dealing with here. Like giving them the breathing room, I guess, to split this up into another season or what have you,
But
potentially.
but they're still going on pace with 3 chapters per episode, and except for certain situations, I always remember it being 3 chapters an episode.
It could also be that this is going to be real complicated the way that they're going to try and do it. So this is just to keep you refreshed on it. That's another potential thing.
Maybe either that or because the chapters were a little bit shorter, they were thinking, we have like 4 extra minutes.
I mean, like that's the thing, right? How are they going to reorganize the fights? Are they going to be the same as the manga, or are they going to be more time is going to be spent on them before switching to another fight?
Hmm. maybe I should start consulting the fandom page after I watch the episode to see how it played out, and if I'm going like, oh, I don't remember this happening, I'll like stop reading.
Yeah, because then it'll come up in like the next episode or some shit.
Yeah, yeah. But
So yeah,
typically, the fandom page will say if the chapter is broken in any way, what pages were
mm,
used.
yeah. I'm just wondering if it is padding in some way to just fill the runtime because what is in there isn't enough to fill the entirety of the 24-minute or 23-minute runtime.
If we discount the opening and closing, I think it's about closer to 2021.
I mean, it's a lot of action, and I'd argue not as much dialogue as we would sometimes get, at
Right.
least now. So maybe it's to help pad it.
Maybe.
So
So,
we're back at the coffin in the sky now.
could I get some. Maybe because I phrased it differently, I don't deserve full points, but I was half right that Shigaraki's body is evolving and that, like, the massive tentacle of fingers, or that we found out were actually hands,
I think I
were.
mentioned something about hands last time.
Mm,
I don't remember if I called those hands and was just like they're kind of meshed together or what have you. I do think I called them hands.
yeah, I thought they were
And you kept
fingers.
insisting on fingers, yeah.
Yeah, but now that they were called out to be hands, okay.
Yeah, because I think I remember mentioning like it's like his suit when he used to have the hands all over his body. It's just
Yeah.
seems to be that kind of a thing again, just merged.
Although he didn't outright say, I am evolving, somebody used the hand stone on me.
It's
Do,
really upsetting that he doesn't have the power of Zahando.
so do I get like 1 point for saying that he's evolving?
Half a point because I don't think you were sitting there and like hammering it home as a point.
Okay.
Half a point.
I'll take it.
Um, yeah, interesting. He says it's his own body and he's evolving, and in my brain I'm like, was that something that the doctor did to him, or is that just a consequence of having all the quirks shoved into him?
He was saying that it's the result of the quirk singularity
Yeah, that
that.
the doctor was talking about.
Yeah, Garaki Eggman, I think his name was. Or,
Definitely Eggman was in there for sure.
yes. So, I still find the massive tentacle of hands disturbing.
I think you mean multi-tentacles, because I think by the end when we cut away from this, there's like 3 of them.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm
Interesting
not
to note.
sure what they are. Like, what does he mean? This is part of my body. This is growing like my nails and my hair.
I'm more confused why he's able to also retract it. Like, because if
Yeah.
it was like your nails and hair, you can't retract that, but this you can. I don't know how that works exactly.
Maybe in like 4 or 3 episodes when we cut back, they'll explain it a bit more.
I mean, maybe I'm hoping so. Like, because the way he kind of says it makes me feel like it's a consequence of having all those quirks and not something that the doctor did specifically to help deal with it. But I would be curious for a bit more exposition on what the fuck it actually is, because it's still not 100% clear.
Do you think original All for One has something like this? Or is the hand tentacle somehow related to his decay quirk?
I don't think it's specifically related to the decay quirk. They do seem to think he can use it through those hands. Also, if he can just grow that, why didn't he grow new fingers? He's still missing those 2 on his one hand.
Didn't he lose super regeneration?
Also that, yeah.
So that's why he didn't regrow fingers.
Yeah, but he can grow them now, like this big fucking monstrosity here. Why can't he just grow 2 specifically? to replace the ones that are gone. Also, if he had super regeneration, why didn't he just regrow his fingers when he did have it?
Good question.
Fun to know that Mirko has some extra backup limbs to re-equip. Also, the really cute section where she and fucking Bakugo are like, "What the fuck you talking about? You want to fight right here?"
No, I literally just said, like, just shut up and kiss, okay?
God fucking damn it.
No, because, like, they're both, like, screaming at each other, and I'm just like, God, just kiss already, okay? That'll make everything better.
Adultery, sir. She's like, what, 25, I think, and he's fucking 16? That would be adultery.
Well, I mean, like, maybe not in Japan.
I was about to say, maybe the Japan laws are different. I'm not 100% sure in that regard.
I thought the age of consent in Japan was 16.
I think it is, but I don't know if there's some limit on age at that point. But yeah, everyone, listen to Genus. He knows what he's talking about.
Man, if every one of those hands can use erasure, everybody's screwed.
Uh-huh. So yeah, we get a little bit of telepath from the Wild Wild Pussycat character there, who basically was talking back and forth with Deku and Aizawa, being like, "We can't warp you here. We can't let erasure be released. Shit's gonna get real bad if we do that. You got to get here on your own."
Yeah, because there is a 10-second cooldown from when Phantom Thief, I forget his name, can use a new quirk.
I don't even know if that was it, if that's what he was mentioning in there. I thought it was the time it would take for him to get there, get the new quirk re-equipped, port Deku over, and then get back in place.
Oh, okay, maybe that.
That's kind of the way I read it, at least, was that to like do that, they would have like 10 seconds without erasure in place.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. It would be at least 10 seconds of just unregulated Shigaraki. Fucking, it makes it even worse because of all these like fucking hand pillar things going around too.
Yeah?
Wait a minute, I just realized something.
What?
Why didn't they just call in the Italian heroes and bring in the Pillar Men?
Yes!
God damn it.
And then we cut to the island.
Wait a minute. Did they try super Nazi technology?
The best in the world! Oh, Stroheim.
Stroheim's still around. I'm sure he's an Italian hero right now. Or a German hero. Call him in.
That crazy cyborg Nazi.
It feels so weird to say that in like a good way.
Yes!
It's the one time I'll admit that this character that is a Nazi is a fun character. No other Nazis have reached his peak. Ever. Nowhere close.
And now this is like reaching back decades, but wasn't there like some comedic Nazis in like, I think it may have been Hogan's Heroes?
I mean, yes, but they were played as idiots, from what I recall.
Okay.
I have watched some of Hogan's Heroes, but they're usually played off as dumbasses. And the few higher-ups that do occasionally show up just don't stick around long. Because they're the actual, like, somewhat smart ones that would figure shit out.
Yeah. So I was wrong that...
So question.
Yes.
I'm wondering, because like I said, when I usually read these, I'm flipping through, I'm skimming through the episode as we go. Why was this episode called Inflation?
Let me see here. I
don't know what that's relating to.
It is, from what I've noticed, they usually take the title of the episode from one of the chapters of the manga that is featured in the episode.
I would think that, yeah.
Chapter 347, which is the first third of the episode after the opening when Shigaraki and the hand tentacle up until Himiko confessing to Deku. That is Inflation, the manga chapter. So maybe it deals with Shigaraki's inflating arm tentacle?
I don't know. I don't understand the affiliation here. I'm wondering if it's a translation thing. That's the closest thing we have to whatever, term they used.
No.
It is a direct translation?
100%. Chapter 347 was called Inflation.
No. I mean like in the kanji, right?
Oh.
Like is it a different meaning read in a certain way or something like that? But our closest guess to what that was inflation.
Well, it's in Romanji, which is phonetically English in kanji.
All right, then I'd be very curious as to like the reasoning for this because I honestly don't understand it. Like even bringing in Shigaraki's hand shit, I don't know if I buy that as inflation unless it's explained more later.
I could be wrong, but isn't Romanji English words, or is like the Japanese pronunciation of Western characters? Is that Romanji, or is Romanji what they call the Latin alphabet?
I thought I knew, and now you're making me second guess myself.
Ooh, sorry, dude.
So now I don't know if I'm right or not. I was assuming Romanji was what was called the English alphabet for them, but I'm not sure. Now I'm not sure.
Romanji is the name for the English alphabet.
Okay, so I was right.
Oh. Then
so yeah.
What is, like, if the word inflation would be like inuflation, or however it would be properly pronounced in Japanese, what are those characters? I thought there was like a special language for writing foreign words.
Wouldn't that just be the one that's phonetic?
Maybe. So let's just stick with phonetic kanji. So the phonetic kanji of the manga chapter was inflation. Also written in Romanji, or English letters, as inflation. So
again, I don't have anything. I still don't think it makes sense as a title. Again, unless something is made more clear in a later chapter, I don't know that makes sense.
I'm still going to say it deals with his hand tentacle.
Like I said, unless something is cleared up later and explained more, I don't think it makes sense. That is my caveat. Otherwise, there is absolutely nothing that makes sense with the title.
Ask Horikoshi. He would know.
Who knows? Maybe Horikoshi forgot.
Why did I call that inflation?
Maybe the same reason I brought in a second coffin? I don't know. Wait a minute. I'm not Iraqi. What am I thinking about?
Oh shit, dude.
Anyway, we're off to sunny Okuto Island with the aquarium. As we go and scan and see the beautiful sea animals, there is a massive fight going on outside.
Just with the juxtaposition was hilarious.
With apparently a Nomu who can like separate his body like that one girl in Class B, but then also harden it into fucking
spikes, spears,
like metal spikes or something, or like hardened spikes, like Kirishima's ability. It's like a fusion of a couple of quirks, it feels like.
Well, Nomus are a fusion of quirks, so maybe it's using that to its full potential.
I mean, it could be. Anyway, it's using that to cause chaos around the battlefield. We have a lot of mini people. We have that tooth sword dude that showed up that Kirishima fought at one point.
That we haven't seen in ages.
Well, yeah, because he was arrested. I guess he got released from Tartarus when the others broke out. That'd be my guess. But yeah, a lot of chaos going on. Deku and Ochiko are all like, "Oh my god, we're here together!" And then surprise knife.
Sadly, it's not a Persona knife.
Also, I think I should get points because they do explain the reason why he can't sense her.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
Yeah, it is not that danger sense is going wrong. It is in fact the thing that she is literally not intending harm, or like the whole love thing means that danger sense doesn't register it.
I may be hurting you, but it's because I love you.
Yeah,
I want to like slice into your skin because I love you.
genuine affection when hurting people.
So, like I was saying earlier, is she kind of yandere?
She doesn't fit it well enough. Like, it's a more fucked up version of what a yandere would be.
Yeah.
Like, she almost wants to wear your skin and be you. Like, we're going from yandere to just straight up, like, psychotic maniac.
And spoiler for the end of school days here, I think something like it's like some whole love triangle funny thing, but at the end it turns really dark where girl A kills girl B, then kills the boy, and keeps his head in like a duffel bag so he'll always be with her.
I better hope he doesn't rot. Yeah, we're going down some, like, psychopath killer kind of, like, levels at this point with the way that she acts.
So like some fucked up yandere and not like some standard yandere.
Yeah, we're going a bit more deeper into the psychosis here. Like we're mixing in actual serial killer levels of shit. But yeah, she's like, "Deku, I want you to be my boyfriend." Which means I get to eat you.
Wait, what? You mean like boyfriend? Like we go to carnivals and eat crepes together? And
Nope.
Of course, Deku is an idiot.
Of course Deku's an idiot. Because he doesn't understand. I do like the fact that present Mike is still the one narrating this bullshit.
Yes.
But I guess she says it's because he reminds her of her first crush, which I don't know if that was something that's ever been said before.
I think she brought up her first crush before, but I forget the whole story of that.
Mm-hmm. We do get to see he does in fact look a lot like Deku, but with straight black hair rather than like the greenish black that Deku has.
Yep. And then Uraraka gets stabbed by a regular knife, not a Persona knife.
Sadly. As she like tries to help defend Deku.
Mm-hmm.
And Deku, I guess, says the wrong thing because Himiko is not happy with his answer.
Nope.
You're just like everyone else. You don't even want to try.
So, Floppy kind of distracts her for Deku to use, float Fajin and Air Force to fly away.
Yeah, the technique Air Force. That one's not a quirk.
Right.
But yeah, it gives him the chance. And I really thought Deku would still be in this area until next episode. I did not think he was going to get out this episode.
Right.
She kind of reminds him, like, you got other shit you got to do, bro. You can't stay here for this. Plus, of course, we can't have, Ochiko revealing her secret crush too early.
Ochiko, just say it already.
Nope, can't do it. Like, you've done literally everything but say it at this point.
Man, I could expect some dojins to be like, Deku, I love you. What? I didn't see this coming.
Like, I mean, come on, man. The only thing we haven't had yet is like indirect kissing by sharing chopsticks or some shit. And who knows? Maybe that happened off screen. Who the fucking knows?
And after Ochiko admits her love for Deku, like all of Class A, 1A will appear from like hammer space and say,
Fucking finally!
Yes!
This is before or after she reveals she has like a Helga Pataki level shrine to Deku in her fucking closet. This is the gum he chewed last week. These are the chopsticks he used.
Oh, mouth blade guy is Moonfish.
That's a fucking weird ass name, unless like I don't know what Moonfish refers to though. Anyway, yeah, get the fuck out of here, Deku. You got shit to do.
Unfortunately, there's nothing for him to latch onto with Black Whip, so he's still going relatively slow.
Yeah. Well, he also can't use 100% of any of the quirks right now if he wants his shit to be able to handle, you
Shigaraki.
know, well, his equipment, I mean.
Mm.
He could probably do it right now, but he would break all his shit on the way there.
Yes, it is not that top S tier quality.
Mm-hmm. We do bring up the one quirk that he doesn't have access to, and they're like, it's not the same as when I had it anymore. It's been changed by being part of All for One and being enhanced the way it has. Still don't know what it is, but it's behind some kind of like multi-lock fucking door in his brain.
So, what do you think he meant by it's been changed?
I don't know, right? Like that's such a wild like whatever it is would get him there faster because he was talking about like using it here. I don't know if that means it's going to amplify what he can already do or not. So like I don't know if you've ever seen how much of Naruto did you see? Because I know you watched some.
Um, I think I've only seen about 50 episodes. I think I may have seen him unlock first tail on the bridge fight.
I think that's in like the first 20.
I think like the fourth mini story arc I
You didn't get to the tuning exams then, no?
like literally the last thing I can remember about watching Naruto, which was like 15, 20 years ago, maybe more at this point. The last thing I clearly remember was him unlocking One Tail.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you to do yourself a favor then, and go and watch the Lee versus Gara fight later, because that shit is fucking amazing.
Mm,
And it would also kind of exemplify my point of what I'm gonna try and explain here.
okay.
So I'm wondering if the ability is to like reinforce or like amplify something, right? Like he can pick a thing, whether that's like a building, right? And he can reinforce that building so that it won't break down, in like an earthquake or some shit like that, or it can take an impact it normally wouldn't be able to take and not have any damage to it. Like say you have a window, right? That normally a window would shatter if you threw like a softball at it,
Mm-hmm.
right? He could reinforce it so that way it would literally be like bulletproof glass at that point.
Oh,
Like something along those lines.
huh.
That said, perhaps reinforcement at this point would mean like he could reinforce the quirk itself, enhancing it past what it was already doing.
Mm,
Especially because he's mentioning that the equipment wouldn't be able to handle one for all at 100%. So gambling on the other quirk instead of forcing it to 100% to begin with might be able to kind of bridge the gap of what he's looking to do or find
okay.
like a middle area. But perhaps it's a lot harder to like, I want to say refine or hit the area that he wants to hit, right? Like hitting a bullseye on a dartboard.
Okay.
It doesn't, it could go overboard.
Hmm.
Whatever it is, it's something that could go overboard or potentially like backfire really hard if it's not used correctly. Like he
I
could blow out, like potentially, if he would use it, he could also blow out his whole body.
I am going
Um,
to bounce off what you were saying or what you were like half spitballing, and I'm going to say it's something to do with super speed.
Okay.
Because you said the second
I mean,
quirk.
why wouldn't he just be able to use Fa Jin to do that? No, like
No,
he's able to do the same thing with
because
that
you
idea, right?
said using the second quirk would get him there faster.
That seems to be the implied thing by this conversation.
Yeah, and because of that, I am going to guess that is straight up super speed.
Mm-hmm. I'm just curious why that would mean not using it now.
Maybe it had like caveats that I don't know what a caveat would be for super speed.
He also talks about injuring himself before reaching the battlefield. I'm thinking it's like Lee's 8 inner gates, where it vastly improves what your physical body can do. However, the backlash is like after it ends is extreme.
Oh, okay.
Oh, fucking Kaioken is another decent example of that.
Yeah.
Multiply your own like body's ability to do things, but the backlash is indefinitely more destructive. Like imagine using that with the way All for One works, or One for All works. It's already insane. Multiplying that on top of it would make it more insane.
And
Yeah.
then we cut away to Dobby versus Shota. Well, like Shota plus all of Endeavor's
So actually,
sidekicks.
we cut back to Ochako and them for a second,
Okay.
and she is definitely going to use fucking Dead Man Parade or whatever it was, fucking twice his ability.
Sad
She
Man's
literally
Parade.
mentions his name. Yeah,
Hmm.
she mentions his name while like grabbing what I assume is like the utility belt box that has it in there.
Maybe not next time.
I'm saying next time we cut back to that fight
Okay.
because she seems like she's ready to do this. But yes, now we're back to Dobby, who has apparently like burned down a bunch of people around him. I don't even know if the Nobus are left at this point because he's just burning everything.
Yeah. And he's
Uh,
mad that Endeavor wasn't the one that showed up.
yeah, I know, right? Endeavor doesn't care. He's not here anymore. Also, Ingenium can't get in because it's overheating his engines. They won't work.
Hmm.
And a bunch of other heroes, I think, are at the back end unable to do much. Also, Dobby's burning off his clothing, showing off all his scars, melting his own flesh.
Well, you know, from the way this ends, I don't think we'll see the Uraraka Toga fight. Because it
Oh, I don't
seems.
know. We're gonna stick with this for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, because it seems that next time will be a Dobby backstory episode.
I mean, that's kind of what he alludes to with his speech here. We do learn that one of the hero's abilities in here is like being able to change the trajectory of anything. So right now he's just changing the trajectory of the heat so he doesn't burn up. I'm curious if he can get multiple targets or if it's like just one thing in general.
I thought we saw him.
I think we saw him. I don't think we've seen him fight.
Characters in 349.
Because if we saw him before, it would have been during like the time when Deku and company are training with Endeavor.
Oh, interesting. Um, after, well, in the manga, after Endeavor is mentioned, the next character to make an appearance is Spinner. So probably for like one or two panels, Spinner is shown in 349, which would be the tail end of this episode.
Oh, he's in here.
Oh, I must have
In
missed
fact,
him.
I want to bring it up. Like there's something up with that panel, and I'm very interested to know what's happening.
By
But
panel,
yeah, we have a lot of.
you mean scene.
I mean, it may as well be a panel. It's a still shot.
Mm.
Yeah, we get a lot of like, yeah, we're fucking Endeavor sidekicks, and we're gonna back you up, Shoto. Let's go. And then the whole I'm gonna tell you all about why I didn't just kill myself. But he talks about like each person here during this speech, and we get flashes to each of them, whether that's Toga at first for her reasoning, wanting to change the world, which is where Spinner shows up, which is at 2108. And something is fucking up with this dude. Hold on, I will get you a screenshot if you haven't already gotten there yourself.
Yeah, I prefer not to watch it because since I'm the one recording audio, I don't want the episode audio.
You could have just muted it. That's what I do.
Mm.
Let's see here. Here you fucking go. What the fuck is going on with him? He's like hulked out and fucking drooling. Like, I'm wondering if All for One shoved another quirk into him. Or multiple. Like, he is way more muscle bound and hulked out here, and he is drooling. Like, he's almost like berserker mode.
I don't know.
Something is up, and it is not his gecko quirk.
I can't believe I missed this. What the hell, Self?
Yeah, it's there. And then we flash to, good old Shiggy here with some fingers in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the episode ends.
Oh, and by the way, the redirecting guy was Keto, who appeared in season 6.
So yeah, probably when he was training with Endeavor. Again, I don't think we ever saw him fight.
Yes, because him mentioning trajectory, he can change trajectory, I'm like, that sounds familiar.
It might have been like one of those things when we first met him, they told us what the quirk was.
In season 5 and 6, he appeared in 8 episodes. So he did have, maybe he was doing the training arc, but
I think he was just a background character for the most part. I don't think he did anything.
Potentially.
Like, maybe he was there during the fight with, like,
Ending?
Well, I was thinking with, like, Shigaraki and shit. Like, in the background somewhere doing some stuff on the side that we just never saw. Or, like, happened so fast you could just miss it.
Yeah. And maybe during the Endeavor Agency, maybe he did show up there as well.
I'd be shocked if he didn't show up in that one.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, do you want to speculate about Dobby's backstory at all? Or, because I really have nothing.
I could spitball, but there's like so little to go off of after the mountain incident, right?
Yeah.
Like, could it just be resentment for the fact that, that just continued to brew the way it was? Maybe. I'm more curious whether the fight will actually be a test of endurance in this case, considering his entire body's melting in the preview. Like, does Shoto just have to outlast this and make sure all the others survive?
So you're saying Dobby will potentially die because he burnt himself up?
It feels like that's what's being insinuated with the preview. Because, like, even during the fight in the preview, it seems like he's completely melting away.
Wait, insinuated or incinerated?
Porque no las dos. But yeah, I'm looking at this just thinking, like, I have no fucking idea if that's what's going to happen, right? Like, does he somehow manage to subdue him in ice before he dies? Does he burn out whatever his body has? Like, we don't really know how the Todoroki fire quirks work that well. With Bakugo, we know that it's his sweat that's combustible, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know where the fire in Todoroki's shit comes from. Like, what's the fuel for that? Horikoshi is very peculiar about how Creati needs lipids and, like, food in order to help create the shit she makes. He's not really clear about the firepower and where that comes from. I'm wondering if we get a bit of background on that here. An exploration of how that firepower works a bit more.
Maybe.
Like, with the ice, you could argue it's just that he snap freezes everything. The air just snap freezes in front of him as he wants it.
Mm-hmm.
The fire, though, it needs something to eat. And I don't know what that is.
But I guess we will maybe find out on the next episode of Boku no Hero Academia.
Yay!
Uh, I'm guessing the next episode will not be fun times. It'll be more like sad.
Little Dobby lives alone.
Oh no! Don't remind me. Oh, catch everybody later.
Bye bye.